SMT Nation, we back nation. We're going to be talking about the new T-Mobile company. Today is sort of, or I should say this week officially, puts it at the 3-year anniversary in which, T-Mobile basically has no commitments, no attachments to any type of merger, protections, concessions, or agreement items. Okay, so we're going to discuss that in today's video and what it means for the working American and the American consumer. I'll be sure to link this for you guys as a reference point, and you'll see that in the description. Also in the description is the real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. If you want to support your creators directly, that's one way you could do it. Keep the SMT caffeinated and motivated. And of course, if you're looking for a great deal on Mint Mobile, you can use our partner link. It's in the description. Save a lot of money on your wireless, get a great value, and you'll be supporting the channel in the process. All right, now for the video today and the commentary, we basically have the 3-year anniversary of the closing of the T-Mobile and Sprint merger. No longer is T-Mobile going to be restricted in what they can do with respect to the merger terms and concessions that they had to make in order to get the merger approved through regulatory bodies. The deal itself was, approved and cleared on, I believe, officially April 2nd, 3 years ago. So today would be the first business day on that 3-year anniversary. All right, so what are some of the things that T-Mobile had to do, in order to get this deal across, right, accepting the terms? They made a deal with the California Public Utilities Commission. That is probably going to get violated. I don't think they're even close. In fact, they don't even have the entire state of California covered in networking, so they'll definitely be losing on that piece, and I don't think they really care, and I don't think it's really going to bother them all that much. Some other stuff from the merger is, you probably remember, 100 megabits per second nationally in, I think, to 90% of the country or something like that. There were a bunch of different terms. And then some other things like T-Mobile voluntarily said, we'd be job positive from day one. They're probably minus 10,000 so far. And that's another thing we're going to talk about later in this video. So there's a lot of things that they were supposed to do, had to do, all as part of the agreement. And there's a mix of whether or not they actually achieved it. Most of the networking stuff we learned from Neville Ray last week in their announcement on their little video. They said that they hit it all, but according to some of this other stuff, I see that they haven't. But who knows, how they're going to pull this off. I don't think anybody's going to bite back anyways. I don't think the FCC nor the DOJ really has teeth with respect to T-Mobile. I don't think they really care all that much. We kind of, Dish coming out of this is also a screwed up situation. So there's a lot of these things going on. But I want to show you guys with respect to the regulatory approval process. Getting it through took a lot of concessions and, all these different things with Dish and, all these different performance metrics. There were lawsuits from state attorney generals that went nowhere. Basically, there were some attorney general that did a really good job of getting unionized representation, all of that stuff. So this was such a messy merger. It was a long process because it was proposed in 2018 and didn't clear until 2020. But here we are. It's over. The merger restriction window is now closed, and T-Mobile can do what they want. So the fear is that things are going to start changing at T-Mobile that you would consider to be, corporate friendly. Okay, an anti-consumer potentially, an anti-American worker. I think, based on some of the commentary that we're getting from people voluntarily speaking on it. All right, one of the things that I can't say officially, this is not an official announcement of any sort. We're hearing very loud rumblings of layoffs coming to T-Mobile very soon. I can't prove or disprove this. And the reason I'm saying that we're going to keep this unofficial, I'm not going to really comment on it too much, is that those aren't my sources. Those are someone else's sources. And because they're not mine and I don't trust them or know them, I'm not going to come out and make an official public statement about it. I think that would be irrational, and that would be, I would say at the very least, not reputable for me to come out and do that. So just to put it out there, if we do get an announcement here in the next 48 hours or who knows, next week. I don't know. That's what I'm saying is if it was going to happen, it would be soon. So we'll find out. But the fear is that there's going to be a lot of layoffs coming, numbered in the thousands. Now, they've been doing this, so that's not new. The other fear, which I think is also more likely, is some of the structure is going to change with respect to pricing. Especially, I think, whether it's the Sprint side, of the house or whatever, and then, T-Mobile. And, we had this discussion yesterday on the podcast, potentially tax and fees getting taken away, people having to pay those now, potentially seeing price increases to certain plans, rates, and potentially promotional pricing structures. We did a podcast dedicated to it. Okay, now it's not to say that T-Mobile's not going to continue to be the price leader, and it's not to say that T-Mobile won't to continue its growth trajectory. But I think what this indicates to us is we have to be willing to accept that, T-Mobile is a new company, and their primary focus is to generate revenue and be profitable. And being profitable is not something that T-Mobile has been able to do under these merger agreements. They've been kind of confined to the different types of business moves that they could make. But now with, kind of like the 3-year anniversary now passing, they do have some freedom to kind of do some things to kind of change the outcome of their margins, their profits, and they owe their shareholders a lot, right? They told shareholders, with Sprint, we're going to have synergies. And what they mean by that is going to be the assets of these two combined companies will allow them to generate more free cash flow and allow them to become more corporate friendly. And the way that you kind of create quote unquote synergies is by laying people off, closing down retail locations, obviously increasing revenue and your number of customers. That's what we've seen them kind of do so far, right? We've seen the layoffs, we've seen the retail closings, and we've seen the consolidation, right? And they've got to pay down debt. All those things look good to investors. I think a lot of that type of thing is going to be happening here over the course of the next 6 to 12 months. So if you look at the way T-Mobile is right now, I think it's going to be different over the course of the near future. You're going to see and feel a more corporate T-Mobile. If you haven't already noticed it already, which I have, but maybe some people haven't noticed it. So maybe this might be something to watch and monitor. So I will definitely update this for you guys here as things happen, as things develop. Again, I think the expectation is that you're going to notice some things here in the near future. It might be slow, right? One little thing here, one little thing here. Maybe, T-Mobile doesn't want to kind of rock the boat and disrupt everything completely and derail their momentum. But, they got what they wanted, folks. They got, 50 million customers out of Sprint. They got all the Sprint Spectrum assets, which enabled them to really get a huge lead in the 5G network build against their competitors in AT&T and Verizon, who didn't have any Spectrum and had to wait for the FCC to auction it. And along the way, T-Mobile has acquired some more Spectrum in these auctions. They've put themselves in a good position to get out in front, and they're going to look to maintain it. And they can't do that with some of the ways that things used to be at T-Mobile under the John Legere era. So I think it's just a foregone conclusion that some things are going to have to change and some things inevitably will change. Now, what that means to you, the consumer, is monitor your pricing, monitoring your add-on costs, monitoring the value piece. If those things start to change, I think it's to your due diligence to maybe respond. Right, start exploring other options, looking at other brands, looking at MVNO. Some people obviously are more savvy and understanding, but we'll definitely discuss these things on the channel continuously throughout the year. We should be expecting more updates and disclosures from the company as they kind of make their transition to this new big, larger corporation. What do you guys think is coming down the pipeline? What do you think is going to happen to costs? What do you think is going to happen to consolidations? Do you guys think that in the long run things will work out? Do you think in the short term it might be a little rocky? What specific things do you predict are going to occur that you might consider to be anti-consumer, anti-worker? Love to hear what you guys have to say on this. Well, the voice of the people, the SMT Nation, let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links are in the description for all things going on with the channel. Big shout out to my YouTube members and patrons for making content on the channel possible. If you want to become a YouTube member, the join button is down next to my channel name where it says subscribe, and you can get early access to videos, exclusive content and live streams, all types of perks and benefits. Same thing with the Patreon. That link is in the description. So ways you can get more involved. And don't forget, if you want to support the SMT, you could buy me a coffee. Link is in the description. And also you can check out our partner. The link is in the description for Mint Mobile. Get a great deal on wireless service and support the channel in the process. Thanks for watching, folks. We shall see you all in the next video. Peace.